Okay. How's the audio on this? How's the audio doing? Looks a bit low. Maybe it'll figure it out itself. I can just ease up the volume on the mic because there's nothing worse than not hearing what's being said. I think it's this one. Check, check, 1 2 1 2. Is that too high now? All right. The idea here is that I build a quick indicator in MT5. Now, unfortunately, I bought 2 monitors to do this kind of thing. But I need to use the top monitor really to display the screen, to share the screen, because the bottom one's a widescreen and that doesn't do any good for half the people. Should be 1080p at your end, I think. Anyway, let's not let the details hold us up. No idea about the audio either, but let's just assume that we're all right there. Okay, so what I've asked GPT to do is, yeah, let me chuck my trading platform up there as well. Off the wide screen, chuck it onto screen 2, and reset those. All right, yeah, that looks okay, just about passable. So GPT is making us an inverse Bollinger Band, basically. I had the idea that volume, when it comes in, should make the bars narrower and not wider. Now, I've made loads of indies before, hundreds and many versions of each one of these, so me asking GPT to do this is more of a time saver than anything else. I have got templates and things I could use, but honestly, for the calculation for the bands and to invert them and to add volume, I'm hoping that it does a good job. So normally when the price pops, it would put the volume on as well. Yeah, you get volume increases, and the volatility itself, the price movement, makes the bands widen. So it tries to sort of reflect the volatility of the markets. When obviously it's less volatile, they come back together. But price leaves the bands in the low volatility areas, which is good for reversions, but it also leaves the bands in high volatility. So I'm figuring if I put the volume in as a filter, if I weight the bands inversely with the volume, this should stay narrow and it should pop out easier. But when there's low volume, it should cover these areas. And then I can safely say inside the bands, we can mean revert, and outside we can take momentum trends. Just a little theory. I'm sure it's going to be a wash. These things often are. Let's just quickly flick through the code. We've got the buffers, and we've got the parameters. Band multiplier. I'm not sure what this is. The standard deviation period and the band multiplier. Normally you choose the standard deviation, but multiplier might be for the weighting of the volume, I think. Let's see here. Oh, it's dead simple. Simple moving average of close. Standard deviation of close, that's the standard deviation calculation. That's normal, quite short. Average volume, so it's working out the volume over the period. It's averaging the volume. Okay, yeah, that should be fine. Because we could take it per bar, but we can set the period to low if you want to test that. And then tick volume. All right, let's try this out. So we can go to copy. On another screen, I have the, in fact, yeah, I could just share that screen as well. Let me put my chart back on for you to have something to watch. I wonder if moving this to the other screen would be interesting as well here. Let's just custom indicator, and we'll call it Bollinger Inverted. Delete what they give us and save all that. And then I'm joined by the dog here. He's knocking things off things. Okay, that's actually compiled already. No problems compiling. What do we call it? Bollinger Inverted. Come on then, let's try with this standard. Oh my God, that's not helping. That needs smoothing somewhat. It's because of the multiplier, isn't it? Volume averaging period. Let's put that down to 5, and let's go with let's just try that. It's not really doing what we want here. Price. Huh. Yeah, I kind of want to. I think I just want to invert the Bollinger Band calculations, actually. Let's go and talk to GPT a bit more. Apparently saying please and thanks waste millions in energy costs. I'm not sure. I just want to be on the right side of the robot revolution when it comes. Thanks. Can we instead invert the to narrow when volatile or to widen when not, and weight it by volume still, and use an EMA to smooth it out. I don't need more thanks. Let's go with that. One thanks is enough, eh? Apologies, robots, if it wasn't enough. Future robots. Let's see here. It should just make the changes in the canvas. It's getting a bit better at doing this compared to like how it was. I'm using the O3 model, which thinks a lot. It's a bit slower, but the responses are generally good. I do have Cursor as well. I think I need to set it up again, but yeah, Cursor gives you other models to use, and Copilot I use on my work machine as well. So Claude 3.7 is pretty good, and the Google, what's it called, 2.5 is also good. They're all pretty solid, to be honest, at solving the basic problems I have. It's not like I'm doing groundbreaking scientific research or anything. Just trying to put a few things together. Well, while that's working, Jesus, let's have a play with this one more time, see if we can't do anything interesting with it. Band multiplier 1.25. See if that just, yeah, it's breaking out there and staying in there. That kind of thing might be more like the weighting we're looking for. I mean, yeah, just with the smoothing as well should be good. Let's just try and increase the volume. No, it doesn't really do anything. And then the MA period. Well, super short, too narrow. Yeah, honestly, it's that kind of thing I'm looking for. So when it breaks out, it's properly breaking out because of volume. Although here, there's low volume. It was high volume leading into it. That's good. Right, so they still widen like the Bollinger Band. So it's fighting itself. So the volume's bringing it in and the Bollinger is pushing it out. So I guess the request we've made is probably going to help with that. Ooh, answer in chat instead. Okay, re-engineered the indicator. Volume ratios, when high activity, inverse volatility. Seems to have put the EMA in place as well. Let's try this. Vibe coding all the way. Right, when I reset this, it should actually, let's get them all on the same. There. Do I still have the same issue as before? Let's kill that and restart it. Did it compile? Yes. Bollinger inverted. Oh man. How do I smooth it? How do I smooth it? So if we ramp this up, you should get more spikes. Oh, we get 0 change in the previous calculation. What's that about? Why is it not recalculating? Just take this old trend angle thing off. I do like it, but it's a bit slow. Take the old Bollinger Bands off. Yeah, what's going on? Let's just check the panel. Nothing showing up there. Oops. We have an issue. Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure what's going on there. This is the vibe coding problem. Having an issue with loading correctly. Let me just try and load it onto another chart just to see if that makes any difference. Man, gold took a hit this morning. Yeah, it just doesn't want to do anything. All right, let's just tell it there's a problem and see if it can fix it. Oh, that sucks. It did. It did load. OpenAI user. Input period rates. Yeah, so it is loading just weirdly. Is that the inverse of price? I think it's got something messed up there. No shit. Let's see if there's any trades while I'm here. Oh, is this widening as it? Yeah, I don't know what it's trying to do here. Jesus Christ. Subtracting from the wrong values caused the smoothing problems. Well, it's annoying. If you know this now, Why didn't you pick it up the first time? Any other trades I'm just blindly missing here? I need to take the... I was planning on using this trend angle measurement as a filter, so when it's white, take mean reversion trades, and otherwise just go with the trend. So that would have been a trade. This riskily also would have been a trade. Nothing there. Do you see? So you just filter your... It's not actually a great example there, but... And the higher the time frames or the longer, the slower the MA, the sort of more of the general trend you'll be catching. But I'm not really planning on using it now. So let's just get that removed. I've got the quarters lines still on the chart as ever. I just like them as a reference point. Not saying price bounces off them all the time, because it doesn't. But yeah, they certainly play a role in at least giving me an eyeball of where things are going and how far they're going. What's also nice is when a whole number is passed. It won't actually work so well here either. These are a bit random, I suppose, because the futures market is shifted in points and scale, not scale, but shifted in points compared to this. So these whole numbers here won't be representative of what's going on in the futures markets, but still, it's its own market. What have we got? Yeah, so like when it passes a whole number, it can come up to pass it, come back to it and go again. That's a lovely trade that happens all the time. Passes it, comes back and shoots. Passes it, comes back and shoots. I mean, it's not like robotic and you can get caught offside many times, but yeah, I just like it as a guide. My indicator doesn't work amazingly on the indices yet. I'm still working on it. Especially down on the lower time frames. Let's go to the 1 minute. You've got what I'm trying to catch is the obvious pullbacks in trends, but I could just as easily use like drawn lines for where I think it's going to bounce on the underside of the last move and go again. Would have been here, but I waited till it came back and so on and so forth. Yeah. Oh, also, obviously, fair value gaps on a higher time frame, imbalances or whatever people call them, just a gap in price that might need coming back and testing again before it shoots off, which did happen in this case, did happen in this case, did happen in this case, many cases where it doesn't. The indices are generally quite good for this. Also, sometimes they invert. Some people base their whole trading strategies on that. So if it doesn't break through, you've still got the other side of it to come back off, but that's kind of like a bit of woo teabag reading. Here again, you know, you could, it's just a line in the sand, isn't it, where people decide to trade from. I should have GBP USD open because that is slightly more interesting. Oh, good, I've got an error in the stream. Did it make any changes? I wouldn't know. I don't think so. Avoid divide by 0. Yeah, that could be an issue. Let's just copy it while we wait just to make sure. No, it's already got that. 166 lines, and it's the same, yeah. So I also like looking at UJ, as they call it, dollar yen, because kind of moves modestly, conservatively. Indicates which way the dollar's going a lot of the time. So strong dollar this morning. In theory, obviously, if it's not paired by like a strong or weak yen. And here we've got some gaps that haven't been met at all many times over and over, so it's kind of useless in this case. You can change the time frame of the gaps, so you could make them even the 1 hour gaps, which is a much slower game to play, and it does play out maybe with a little bit more accuracy, like here. But again, oh wow, look at the bright Christmas lights on this chart. So the thing is, I'm not going to put a filter on it to hide them, but I'd be ignoring in an uptrend the fades. I know some people trade those as well, but I'd just be looking at these longs. Unless the swings were really big, a bit bigger like these, I'd be tempted to take them. Ba-bum-bum. Here we go. Not finished yet. So I think my focus will probably be on gold and NAS when we get to it. See any calcs there? No, not yet. I've got to give it a second. Let's get rid of the derivative line on here as well. And what I'm planning to do with this inverted Bollinger filter is, yeah, if it's breaking out, then I want to be taking these longs only. So that would be a nice filter for those. Otherwise, if it's consolidating, I can be taking these reversion pings. And then I'll have to just pick a time frame to work. Because, yeah, it's probably a bit more accurate on M3, to be honest. It filters out some of that noise. So you get your reversions that are quite nice. There's a lot of winning in there. And then when it starts to pull away, hopefully this would narrow up on higher volume. Let's see. Oh, yeah, much higher volume. So these would be going outside of the bands. And I could start to take them. I have a VWAP bands indicator. Put that on the screen while we're waiting for the other thing. I think light bands, honestly, it was so many versions. Just as an example. So it resets every day. The bands don't carry the same volatility from the previous day. Oh, sorry, they carry the same volatility, but the place resets. So a lot of them start and they take hours and hours to fan out. Hours kind of stay with the previous day's volatility and then just close in if it needs to through the Asian session. And then obviously break out to the downside, bounce off VWAP there. And the idea would be to take reversions outside the third band and to go with it until then. So that was the old plan for trading. I didn't stick to it. I think I'm happy with price action now, honestly. Like, I'm just much more confident with it. And this coming up to an area of interest, so like a fail to return or the underside of a move or the overside, obviously, if it's coming back the other way, just seems much more reliable in these markets. But yeah, VWAP bands are quite nice. Just as an experiment. Oh, I've spent so many hours experimenting. It pains me to think it. I could have been trading all this time. Here we go. Apparently it's fixed. Rebuilt the loop. Okay. All right. Oh, right. Was it displaying at the other end of the chart? Probably. Inverted. Press I. No, we're too far down now. It's Bollinger inverted anyway, isn't it? Still in the wrong place. Boom. Nothing still. My God. And it's not at the other end of the chart, back in previous months. So what is it doing and why is it failing? Where's the price gone? Is it hiding somewhere up there? Nope, fail. Did I copy it and compile it correctly? I feel like I've missed something. 167. No, I didn't. Well, blow me. Okay. Wow. That is not smoothed at all. Right, let's go back to the default. Okay. I don't know what's happening. It's gone wrong. It's gone very wrong. So these spikes in volume, presumably, are causing that issue. Volume EMA length. What if I just set that really high? That just makes them higher, makes them more angry. Let's set it really low. You could say smoothed, but I honestly don't know what I'm doing. Let's try and smooth everything out. Okay, 50 is going to be too high. So why does this track up on the upside? Normally it tracks the other way. Like the bottom band should be further down here. So there's some... And yeah, look here, when it goes narrow, it really widens out. So that would be the trend. Mean reversion one. And then it's just not narrowing enough. Just not narrowing enough. Yeah, so that's not going to do anything that we want. Well, interesting concept. What's going wrong here? It's because it's so wide before it pops, isn't it? And then when it gets going, it narrows up. I mean, even if it came out the bottom side, it would be fine. But it's staying within the band, so that's not really doing what I need. As a volatility, I think I'm still on something. I think it's really interesting. We almost need, like, when it's been wide and then it narrows, we kind of... Yeah, I don't know. I might just abandon this test for now, put some more thought into it. Can't spend all day on this. Am I just getting the settings wrong? It's not settings, is it? I've tried both extremes. EMA and standard deviation. Length. Mini. Yeah, that's just pointless. Volume EMA length. What if we do just another test? More volume. Yeah, because when it peels away, it is going outside the indicator, but to the wrong side. What if I just take the volume thing off and just invert the Bollinger Band? It narrows when the standard deviation is greater than the EMA. What? Let's just take the volume out of this calculation just as a quick test. Vol ratio, how's that calculated? EMA price. The EMA still show the whole time then, yeah, and it doesn't, that's not volume impacted. The EMA volume impacted? No, it shouldn't be. Alpha price. Yeah, that's just standard. The volume ratio. Just try it with the, oh, well, the multiplayer, I can just set it 1 for that. So let's try it with the, what did I do? I took out, so the multiplier is still in place. And it makes a difference. Let's go for longer, slower bands. That's a little bit closer. That's because of the high volume that it's narrowed here, but it's high volume and small movement. Maybe the M1 time frame isn't best to test this on. So this is wide because its price is flat, so we can mean revert. Now it's starting to drift up, it's narrowing, but not enough to give me any kind of useful signal. Like here I can say don't revert it, that's fine, but when it comes back in, yeah, so we're widening out again here, which we shouldn't be. That's so weird. Oh, and then volume drops to nothing here. No, it doesn't. Maybe the day resets or something. Oh, it does something weird on the last few bars. It's because it hasn't got enough data for the look back, maybe. Is that 50 bars? Yep. Yeah, I mean, okay. Mess this up somehow. The request, I mean. That's crazy, useless. We could have, this would be maybe better as a histogram. So when it's like narrowing, it would show clearer on the histogram. When it's widening, that works as intended, to be honest. I'm not sure about the smoothing situation, but it narrows into, well, that's still wide here, but it's narrowing. I guess it's more reactive if you drop the EMAs, which we have done. So super wide because we've been static for ages. Yeah, I think just read price action. I love all this quant stuff, but you have to make so many compromises. There are so many. Yeah, I mean, here it's wide and it shouldn't be reverting. Okay, abandon. Let's just trade. This whole time I could have been taking some nice trades as well, of course. Let's see what we got here. I think I've turned off signals, so I need to keep an eye out for alerts. Oh, let's turn the sound on my machine. That might help me hear them. Oh, Jesus, look at these catches. It's so nice. Well, hindsight, because obviously some of these are bad, but get rid of that. Get rid of that. Man, so we're expecting a pump again today. Probably, are we? Or is gold not the safe haven anymore? Oh, I just dream about some of these trades, man. I've taken a few good ones before, but never at size where it's like a 10K win, 40K win or whatever. But they're totally possible. You just got to keep going, be there at the right time, I guess. And put enough size on, make it worth it. See, M3, you know, is very nice in itself. This was an M1 trade here, and I just pulled it because I had like a few $100 profit. I was quite happy with that. But I could have repeated that several times throughout the day with some fails involved as well. Yeah. So the plan at the moment is to build an account up to about 25K if possible, and it will take me as long as it takes me, but I'm going to do it, try to do it, using a combination of prop and personal account trading. Eesh, some missed opportunities certainly here. Let's just keep an eye on the charts for a minute and see if anything pops up. This is the problem with scalping as well, is that you have to be present. I would love to, in fact, yeah, let's test that. I would love to be on the M15 chart, for instance. Oh, that trade. That was fun. A few days ago. Just waiting for my indicator to kick in. Sometimes needs a reminder. There we go. Turn the phone notifications off, actually. So M15 swing trades. Would they be called swing trades still? Just about. They'd be intraday, really, for me, I guess. You're waiting on these big movements within the day. You can still take them against these whole and half numbers. But there's that one again where it passes and then comes back, although that came back some time later. I think when you change the granularity of the whole numbers, you can get a better sort of scalping response. So the hourly might be the swing. Don't forget the trade will be on the next bar, so this is no good, obviously, for that long. It didn't call it in advance on this time frame. Plus that was overnight as well, so it would have been subject to all kinds of spread widening and rollover costs. What's this? I think it's an old remnant of an old test. I guess these are more interesting because, say I took a Duff one. Okay, this is like 1 a.m. I wouldn't have taken this, but even then you still have 10 odd points to get out because it's kind of, there will be a reaction of some description that matches. It just, on the 1 minute chart, it can be so wrong that it's, you know, you're never on side. At least this way you have a chance to get back to break even and leave. But I don't like it. Well, it's not set up for this kind of trading, to be honest. I think I've got it on relaxed mode, which is the most generous. You can tighten it up. Medium, strict, custom, and that only shows the biggest, most obvious setups. But even on H1, it's not really what it was made for. It was made for down here in the trenches. Grab 10 points. Grab 20 points, 50 points, and so on. I don't really want to trade this micro situation here. Oh, does it make a change? Oh no, we gave up on this, didn't we? Economic calendar. Aha. Jobless claims. Bank of England. So there'll be some anticipation and not wanting to take too many positions before then. I guess the US session is going to be where it's at today. A bit of a banger. Bank of Canada going to talk as well. Trump's going to talk. We all know what that means. And yeah, I mean, there's some lower risk volatility stuff we could be doing right now, I guess. Let's drop it down to the 1 minute. Oh man, I keep missing the good stuff. So when the charts are like this is another psychological aspect that always gets me. I'm like, oh, it's up and to the right really far. So it's not going much further than that, is it? You have to take that wider view that everyone says, you know, that multi-time frame, top-down analysis, Yeah. the wider view definitely helps, because look, if I turn those lines off a sec, we're in an interesting spot basically. So we've got not full recovery, but we've got a decent recovery. This is December last year. So coming back to the bottom of that area now, whether we recover or not. I mean, everyone says we're a few weeks out from a massive situation in America, because obviously there was a little pump post the tariffs. Because everyone was buying in their materials and everything they needed pre-tariffs coming into place. Huge economic stimulus. Now that's done, everyone hunkers down. China trade is slowing down. All the tankers are not pulling into the ports, cargo ships and whatnot. So we're expecting a crunch on a delay, basically. So this kind of recovery that we were seeing here, is it sustainable when that crunch comes, when everyone's struggling to buy things, when prices hike, no one's interested? This is obviously the NASDAQ's made up of the top 100 tech companies. Yeah. I would doubt we'll get to the full recovery in the next few weeks before that happens. I mean, we may do, and then it may turn around and go back again. But yeah, I'd just be watching out for majority shorts, I guess. I wonder if, I don't know if I've got it saved anywhere. Oh, there it was. Yeah, commitment of traders. Shoot, I have to find the right format now. I think it should be this one, shouldn't it? Futures and options. Let's go with that. All right. And then we go for the dollar, maybe. Let's try NASDAQ. Let's see what it says for that. So shorts are the dealers, are higher. Asset managers, institutional, they're all long, nearly double the amount. Traders, leveraged funds, are short by the opposite margin. I guess the asset managers have to be, they're less speculating, more hedging, I think, in theory. So do we have the options? Open interest. Yeah, I mean, number of traders, other reportables, not a lot to see, non-reportables. Yeah, I'd say that was our, yeah, look, so people have even joined the market to get in on this. 5,000 less on the long side, 4 times that amount on the short side. So new participants or new interest in the shorting the NAS. But that's, I guess people are saying that this recovery is not sustainable, basically. Now, obviously, on the intraday, when I go to the minute chart, that has nothing to do with that whatsoever. This is just fluctuations hour to hour, price discovery, and that's kind of what I'd be trading, the price discovery. But if I were to take a longer position, yeah, I'd probably follow these guys and go short from one of those key areas, like halfway up that. Let's see, can we get this 4 hour? Almost here would be a great short, to be honest, if not slightly above. But there's a few points that it could short from, and then you can do that thing, you can get stuck in the trap where you're shorting, fail, short, fail, short, fail, just chasing. So I'd rather wait for it, or just do the intraday stuff. Yeah. Let's do something here as well, which I like to do. Switch to the 100 pip mode. Okay, so these whole numbers now represent 0.4, 0.5, 0.6. Obviously on the yen, it's slightly different scale to the 5 decimal point ones. And profits come faster or, well, yeah, faster and heavier, and losses because of that. But here I'll just be able to mark out. So these are obviously reflective of the futures market and the real price of the yen. So I quite like using these ones. Even though it's an ETF or simulated market, it's still going to mirror those other markets perfectly, else there'd be too much arbitrage opportunity. So for instance here, we've crossed a new line in the sand, 1448. I guess it's going for 145. Actually, historically 145, I think we've seen intervention from the Bank of Japan. So might be worth just banging an alert up here and then just taking some longs with that as a target. So it's not far away, to be honest. It says 20 pips. So I guess we're getting there this morning. Let's zoom out again. Be a good trader. Oh, wow. Yeah, we've had some good pushes on the dollar today. In terms of intervention, I don't really know what's been going on up there. Like, yeah, 150, I guess, is where the next big mark in the sand would be. Many more marks in the sand above. But for now, $145 target. Nice if I got here earlier and tried to work all this out, but for scalping, let's just try it like this. What I also wanted to test, I set this up, my risk management indicator, with a dynamic trail. Dynamic trail here, and we're using 1R as the stop. What that means is we should only lose 1R if it gets to 2. We'll just take profit at 1R. If it gets to 3, we take profit at 2. But it's not quite that simple because I only partially remove profit. So then if it keeps going in my direction, we carry on earning, and we've taken some off for safety. So I got it like a dynamic take profit. If I just put a small trade on here, I mean, this is a terrible place to take a trade, really. You'd want it to be here or here, ideally. We'd just be betting on the direction of this move on very little information. We've got strong buying and selling at this point. Nobody's really in control, so we'd just be 50-50 which way it swung. So let's not do that. Oh, nice short opportunity here, maybe. The dollar is pushing up, so this does make sense. Let's just try banging one in. We've got this set up the same way on this chart, I think, dynamic for 1R. So 1R would be, yeah, I've got an R thing on my hotkeys here. I can quickly move that into position. Yeah, so it would start to offload. If I got to 2 and then came back to 1, it would start to offload all the way up here. But this isn't how I like to use it. In this case, what I want to test is super scalps. This is probably going to mess with the trade now. Why can't I move it super close? There we go. That's too close. All right, 3 pips stop. So say I'd loaded up here with 10 lots of gold or something. Sorry, euro dollar. Now within 6 points, we'll start to see some lifting off. If we get to 10 pips, I mean, the chance of it getting there is quite low with a stop this short. but it's just an exercise. This is a complete demo account as well. Oh, this works nicely here. See, so these would have been the reversion trades when there's no trend. And then avoid the red ones because we're in a long trend. No signal, avoid the red, avoid the red. Now we can take the red trade. It would also try and take this one, and then it would start avoiding again on the downside. But I've back tested this and it doesn't really work. So unfortunately, it's not as good as it looks to the eyeball when you run it through the machine. Here would have been a reverse. Yeah. This whole flat section was recorded really well. Keeps you out of trouble a lot of the time. But the thing is, this is for a computer to analyze the market and try and keep itself safe using some semi-logical signals. But if you just do it by eye as a human, so price comes back to test the top of this last area, boom, even here there was a bit of resistance, same as that area, and then we jump again, and we'd expect, well, this is end of day, so it just ran away a bit, but in general, look, it pulls back to that area, then it pulls back to the top of this area. Not crystal clear examples, but you get the picture. You can read price action easier than a computer can. I am thinking of putting a screenshot every X bars, well, every X time period, and sending that to OpenAI for it to try and analyze, are we ranging or trending? And then taking the trades accordingly. But again, same compromises. We could ask it to try and look at levels, you know, where to place a limit order or that kind of thing. But what am I risking here? $14. Big bucks. Even on demo accounts, I don't like over risking. It's not going to get me anywhere, is it? Right. I think I better end the stream there. There wasn't a lot of trading going on, but that's trading for you. I'll keep an eye on the charts while I'm away and check in again next time. Yeah, we've got a downward bias here. Actually, we've got an upward bias in general, so this could be a nice little entry for long, but I'd like to see a nice swing before I took that, which it doesn't feel like we're going to see, I guess, because of these things coming up in an hour or two. I'd like to see gold recover, though, and I'd like to be on the right side of it, so I'll be watching that like a hawk. All right. Thanks for checking out the stream. Let me know if you have any questions below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.